All right, so I'm telling you about this guy who I met years ago, about 5-ish years ago, and I'm calling all these people trying to get in touch with these charities that I wanted to help out. I had a brain tumor, had my surgery, and I thought, well, you got to do something with that. You can't just lay around and be a lazy guy. So I call this guy, and all these different numbers I'm calling, and I keep calling the same people in Asheville, and I'm like, what is going on? Out of all these people that I'm picking up online and asking people about it, and they're giving me these phone numbers and all these people to talk to. Well, I call this guy, and his name is Michael, and Michael and I have kind of a short conversation. I kind of explain the story and why I'm there. Well, Mike's here now, and I was just asking him this morning, I said, do you remember the call that I made and how I maybe seemed a little frazzled and unclear of what I was looking for? And you said it was from a cell phone number that I called.
Yep, and I couldn't forget that call, Bob. I couldn't forget it.
And talking to this guy for the first time, I had not really talked to a lot of people that, you know, had been dealing with brain tumors, especially pediatric brain tumors. And so I'm talking to Michael, which was kind of a short conversation the first time. But tell everybody about that one conversation, and we're trying to explain to everybody how we got in touch with the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation.
Right. Well, I came to the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation to do radio fundraising. And when I got this job initially, it was still in the trade magazines and the industry magazines, the radio industry magazines, about your illness. So I reached out to you and didn't hear back from you, but I understand that illness is very personal. So I just made a little tickler file in the back of my mind and hoped I would get in touch with you later. And one day I'm sitting at my desk and my cell phone rings. And as soon as you said your name, hi, this is Bob Dumas, who am I talking to? I was floored. And we talked for a few minutes, and you said, I was thinking about starting my own foundation, but I keep running into people who talk about the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation. And I was wondering if we could do some work together. And like I said, I poker faced it pretty well on the phone, yeah, because I was like, wow. So as soon as we hung up, we talked for a few minutes. I said I would call you back. As soon as we hung up, I ran to my boss's office, and that's Mike Trainer, our co-founder, and we spoke, and I said, hey, can we do this? And he said, yes, of course. And I called you back, and we set up that meeting where Mike and I came over and met with you here at the studios that day.
Yeah, that was the time that in my life where I said, I think this is going to end up being something big for the kids, and that's the most important thing. And then, so Mike Trainer, who, long story short, he was in the big business, and there was a friend of his that worked there as well, and his son had a brain tumor, and so Mike's like, well, I got to do something, and so he started by having a motorcycle ride for him, and all of that. And how many years ago was that?
30 years ago this year.
Yeah, and so, well, Mike ends up not too long ago passing away. And then so his wife took over the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation. Since then, she also passed away. And these people were some of the most passionate people ever. And look, they could have been at Wall Street, they could have been making hundreds of millions of dollars, but they chose to help people. And you know, when it comes to charities, it's not a lot of money makers at charities. They do it from their heart because they love whatever they're doing, whether it's for adults or hearts or whatever. And these people that work at the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation, they do it because they love these kids and they love these families we're going to be talking to all day today. So then Robin comes in now. So Robin is here. I met Robin for the first time today, but she's only been here just a couple of months with the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation. And so you were with who, and try to condense everything down to why you came here for the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation.
How did I get here, Bob?
Yeah.
First of all, it's a pleasure to meet you. I was a long-time Triangle resident for about 28 years and worked in nonprofit for the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, And then I went down to Miami for a couple of years.
I'm sorry.
And I know, I found out that South Florida is not in the South, but I really had a terrific job with the National Parkinson Foundation, a lot of great organizations, nonprofits out there, but wanted to get back to North Carolina, and lo and behold, there is this wonderful foundation with such a tremendous mission in Asheville, where we used to go for a weekend in the fall, you know, beautiful place. So I was privileged and am very honored to be the new president and CEO of the organization, joined them in September, and very happy to be leading them into the next chapter of the organization's history.
Yeah. Tell everybody about the research. A lot of people don't understand, and to be honest, research is not such a, you know, a glamour, glitzy type of, hey, it's about the research, because most of us have no idea what they're doing. You know, we take some medication that a guy in a white or a girl in a white suit says do it, and we have no idea about it. But there's some kids, the younger they are, the less choices that they have to deal with these brain tumors. Talk about research and things that have just happened that you found out just in the past 5, 10 years. Because of the researches you guys have done, has really made a difference with these families.
Well, you're right, Bob. The survival rates have improved dramatically, but there are still a lot of kids, you know, losing the battle. And even after they have a tumor successfully removed, because of the surgery or the chemo or the radiation, oftentimes they have lifelong problems such as, you know, learning disabilities, physical problems, emotional problems. So we're there to help them with those issues as well. We're funding research right now in 3 of what we call the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation Institutes, and they have to meet very high standards of the criteria to be one of those institutes, and one of them is here in our backyard at Duke University, at Duke Hospital. So we're funding a lot of research there at the University of California, San Francisco, at the Hospital for Sick Children in Toronto, and then some research also at Johns Hopkins. And those researchers are required to collaborate and share their findings, and we think that that will lead quicker to a cure and better treatments for these kids.
And you guys have these meetings once a year from doctors all over the world to sit down, and you guys started that. It wasn't just doctors that wanted to do this. You guys are like, hey, for everybody that deals with pediatric brain tumors, this is going to be a situation where you can come in for 2 or 3 days and find out, walk away, and you know, usually these meetings, if you're just, you know, radio meetings, it's a waste of time and a waste of money. But in this situation, these are doctors that have been trying to work on their own, and now they can get all these hundreds of doctors to come and find out more, and they walk away energized and excited because they've learned new things, and you guys also started that.
Exactly, and I just returned from a big meeting of the Society of Neuro-Oncology in Washington, D.C. We helped to provide funding for that organization, and 1,500 doctors and researchers came from all over the world to that meeting. And I learned there how highly regarded the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation is and how long we've been involved in the impact we've been making. So in May, next spring, we'll be hosting our meeting of those institute researchers who will come together, and then we'll also be piggybacking with another meeting of that Society of Neuro-Oncology focused strictly on pediatric brain tumor research discussions. So.
Yeah, you see, we're going to talk to Dr. G here in just a minute, something that we had recorded with him, but it's when I talk to these doctors, I feel so stupid because the words that they're using, I'm just like, yeah, I know what that means. Hey, so tell me more about this research and what you need. But we're going to go through numbers today and look at the numbers and how much your money actually makes a difference. So from beakers that these researchers need to, you know, really, really expensive things to diagnose these kids in a different way, to help them in a different way. And if you're going to give today, if you're going to give, hey Bob, I can do $10, or I can do one of the 10 by 12s. That's $10 a month for a year. You won't miss it, I guarantee you.
Or everybody going out shopping, you know, Black Friday, just think about one toy less for your kid that they don't even need that you can donate to
that they'll never play with.
Yeah, and you'll save somebody else's life by helping.